Yo, what's up guys? This video is actually a quite different video from what I do. It's just me showing you how I personally build or got together a $300 PC, a gaming PC actually. It's a decent slash good Fortnite PC. It runs me Fortnite above 200 FPS on creative and above 100 on normal games. I haven't tried pubs, but I'm sure it will run decently for 300 bucks. Um, so I know a lot of people. I have a lot of friends who play esports games seriously, they could say, I guess, but majority of them play on console, and there's nothing wrong playing with console, but the thing with console is that sometimes the frames don't go above 60 FPS, or sometimes they don't even go to 60 FPS. For example, Fortnite and Xbox, I know in pubs they can drop to 50 FPS, and the only way to get steady 60 on Fortnite is on creative in Xbox One. On PS4, I don't know, I haven't tried PS4, but what I do know is that, let's say you got them when they came out, like in 2013, they both came out, Xbox One and PS4. They're really old consoles. They're almost 3 years old, 7-year-old consoles, and if we look back at the release prices, the PS4 was $400 and the Xbox One was $500 when I got mine, back in 2013, 7 years ago almost. And the fact that we paid 500 bucks for something that can't even run decent 60 FPS is kind of crazy, if you think about it. So I sold my Xbox and I really wanted to build a gaming PC, but like a lot of people, I was at a really tight budget, so I wanted to know how to build, if it was possible to build a gaming PC for $300, which was my budget at first, and I actually doubted it so much, but at the end, after searching for weeks, I finally got together this decent gaming PC that runs me Fortnite pretty decent at comp settings. So yeah, let's just take a look at this. Alright guys, so let's look over here. Starting with the gaming PC, well, not really the gaming PC. This is the PC that I bought. It's a Dell Optiplex 790 medium tower. The processor for this is a Core i7-2600, which is a 2nd gen processor. It's a really old processor. It's like 11 years old, but it's still on i7, really good. It's clocked at 3.4 gigahertz, a decent speed for gaming. 8 gigabytes of RAM, expandable to 16 or 32, and half a terabyte. So we look at the PC that I bought. As you can see, it's one of those school old PCs. So you've probably seen this, like most likely, yeah, you've seen one of these. There's nothing too crazy. You can see it's really old. This was actually made in 2011. And it was running Windows 7 at first. As you can see, Core i7 inside. So there's actually a Core i7 Optiplex 790. So these PCs back then in 2011 when they were released, they were about or close to $1,000 because of the components they had. They were really new for what the year it was. So as you can see, it's really old. It has VGA still. It still has these old USB and mouse and not USB actually, these keyboard and mouse inputs, which are obsolete now, and it has just one fan right here. It doesn't even have another fan, just one. And this is the power supply. Now I got this at 130 bucks, 125 actually, because I lowered them $5 only, and it was actually a really good deal. As you can see, only 125 bucks for Core i7, 3.4 gigahertz, 8 gigabytes of RAM, expandable like I said. So after that, I needed something to power everything, but something that had more watts. So I went with the power supply. The power supply that I had in stock for this PC, since it's really old, it's only 290 watts, which is not going to get me anywhere. So what I did was I got an EVGA 500 watt power supply. Actually, it's 80 plus white. So I would recommend, if you do have a little bit, like 10 bucks more budget than me, I actually paid 57 total. If you have like 65 budget, you could definitely get an 80 watts. It's just more resistance. I'm not saying this is bad, this is really good, but let's say in a power shortage, it's less likely for your components to get damaged because of the shortage. So this is actually fine. I mean, you shouldn't be worried about it if you don't get power shortages. If it's like raining really hard, I would just like disconnect my PC and not use it for a while. And yeah, I mean, it's EVGA. If it's EVGA 500 watts, then you're probably good. I mean, even 400 works, but as long as it's 80 plus on anything. So the hard drive that happens to 500 gig hard drive, it's not that big of a hard drive, and hard drives right now in 2020, from even starting from 2018, running only on a hard drive was really not fun because boot up times are really slow, booting up games are slow. So what I did was I went for an SSD solid state drive PNY, 120 gigabytes. It's SATA, obviously 6 gigabyte per second speed. It's actually really fast. What this does is you just plug it in, you put your operating system in here, your games, all the stuff in here, and your just boot up times will be 10 times faster. It's really a thing that it should not be fun if you don't have. I mean, yeah. So after I got my power supply, my SSD, I needed something to play. What do I need? I mean the graphics card. So I kind of missed how can I say this? I kind of miscalculated the budget that I had. I was supposed to have 120 for my graphics card. I ended up only having 80 at the end. I don't know what I did. So what I did was I went on OfferUp, as you guys can see over here. It's basically like a Craigslist, you can say, but a little bit more secure. So what I did was I just searched up for random graphics card until I got to this, which really caught my eye. It's an MSI GTX 970, 4 gigabytes. It's actually overclockable, and it has DirectX 12, and it's VR ready. So as right now, this is, yes, it's a 5-year-old card, but it doesn't stop being an MSI GTX 970. Now, it's a really powerful card. If you just want to play like esports game, you should be more than fine with this card. And what I really saw that caught my eye was the price. 80 bucks, that's what I got it for. I got it from $80. This thing which actually goes for 170 bucks new on eBay, which is, yeah, kind of not a steal because these are 5 years old already, but they're really good. I mean, if you could look out here, this is plugging in already. It's really cool. I mean, yeah, it's kind of dusty and all, but like it's fine. It's perfectly fine for gaming. And once I had this, I mean, I bought it from him, 80 bucks. Everything was okay. I mean, it's just a bit there's dusty, so don't be afraid to buy used. It's perfectly fine. The only thing that I would not buy used is a power supply, because if they sell you a missed or broken power supply, chances are your components will get messed up because this thing is not new. So I would definitely not want to get cheaped out. Like I would definitely not want to try to spend the least amount of money in these things. I would spend the most, but to get the most secured thing, like power supply. I don't know if you can understand me, but yeah. So at the end, this is what I got. Right here is my PC, my rig, you can say, I guess. Yeah, it looks really old, as you can see over here. This is the system. It does look really old because it is really old. As you can see right here, the manufacture date is September in 2011, I think. I'm not sure, I'm not seeing it. But let's just give you like a bit of a walkthrough, I guess. So it's pretty simple. A PC is very simple. So right here we got the graphics card, MSI GTX 970, overclockable, 4 gigs of RAM. I mean 4 gigs of RAM, just 4 gigs. It's actually really good. Just runs me the games quite good. Right here we have the cooler. This is the one that obviously cools out the processor because it can get to temperatures that can actually cook an egg on top of the processor. So that's that. Below that is the processor, i7 2600. Not the newest, but it's still a nice 7. Right there we got the one that takes out all the heat that's inside and takes it out. Over here we got the power supply, 500 EVGA white, 80 plus white. So we got all these cables. I don't know where to put them, so I just stored them in here. I should be getting a new case for only 30 bucks. If you have 30 more bucks and let's say you're trying to pay $330 in total, you should definitely go for a case in in Amazon, you could buy like these really cheap cases that are they're actually all right. I mean, there's nothing too bad about them, and they do look they definitely do look better than a hotel Optiplex. I'm gonna show you one right now, right here in Amazon. For only $32, you can actually buy this case. It's blue. It's really cool. It has even a mesh to like it's like for dust and stuff like that. You know, it has all these things. It's only 32 bucks. There's even red, there's green, there's purple. I mean, it looks alright. It's nothing too crazy because you're only paying 32 bucks. But like I said, it's always better than this Dell Optiplex thing. So the motherboard is obviously old. It's a Dell. I mean, there's nothing too crazy to look about it. There's the PCI ports. I mean, not the PC. I'm not sure. I don't know too much about this. I just know the basics. There's the RAM. 8 gigs of RAM again, old RAM, PCI Express cables, things which uses a 16 connector. And let me know if you guys want me to like show a video on how to build one of these. It's quite simple, nothing too crazy. It looks crazy, but it's definitely not. Over here we just have my controller connected in case I get bored of keyboard and mouse. Here we have a Funko Pop. I used to have it inside, but temperatures got too heated. And yeah. So that's pretty much it. I think I'm just gonna show you like some footage of Fortnite, how it runs. And here's my wallpaper. It's pretty cool. It's live wallpaper. So yeah, I'm just gonna show you benchmarks, I guess. Yo guys, so like right here is, you can see like the benchmarks, and Creative Hub we're at, I mean, it's really unstable right now because I just got on. And keep in mind, I am running Vegas Pro in the background, so it's actually quite like heavy, as you can tell, or you can say, to run Fortnite with Vegas on the background. But yeah, even with your let's say your computer under pressure because you're running two really high demanding programs, it's still running decently. I mean, I never have problems with creative. Here and then I do get like 70 FPS on Fortnite, like in Battle Royale, but like when I'm like in a really populated area. So right now we're just in a random 3v3 match or whatever, cause okay, so I got the glitch. But yeah, I'm at 170. Probably you can say that it's like 150 average or something like that. I don't know, it really does depend on a setting. I'm stuck now? Okay. Yo. So it really does depend on the settings you use, of course. But I just play on comp. I mean, I don't really mind about low settings or stuff like that. Okay, I just died or whatever. I don't really care about low settings. But yeah, that's some creative. These are my settings. I use full screen. Yeah, this is my native res because my TV or my monitor, I guess, it's like really cheap. It's not 1080p, but yeah, it's that. My frame rate unlimited, brightness 130. This, I don't use colorblind anymore because it doesn't affect and anything. So I'm at low, everything low. I did turn on view distance epic, but there's like no difference. VSync off, motion blur off, show FPS off. DirectX version, this really does depend on your graphics card. Mine supports Direct 12, but I really don't want to push it to Direct 12. Don't see the difference. Allow multi-thread rendering. This is if you have like high-end processors. Let's say you have an i7, i9, then you should turn it on. If you have an i3, i5, you should turn it off. Use GPU crash debug, and I just turn it off. Yeah, this is that. I don't really mess with these things. These are my controls for my controller. I do have it with me. I actually do use it here and then because of Amos's, as you can see. It's an Xbox. I'm mainly a keyboard and mouse, but yeah, let's hop in Battle Royale. So right here in the battle bus launching area. It's always where it takes the most FPS I've seen. I have an 87, 90, 100, 134, 197, 125. It's really unstable. I like to keep it at 125, and it doesn't move from 125. I like to cap it at 125. But here when we're doing a benchmark, so we're seeing how high can it go or how low. For me, like right here, since I do have 8 gigabytes of RAM, it's a pretty disadvantage for me. If I would upgrade to 16 gigs of RAM, there would be a difference for 15 to 30 FPS. Yes, RAM does influence that much. As right now you're running unstable 60, unstable 50, 80, 78, 52. So all the time when I'm gliding down, it's really unstable because everything is loading. So the GPU or the GPU or the graphics card, it's the same thing, is actually sending all these little pixels, which are the frames, to the processor so it can process them, of course. So that's why it's frame per second. So it's how many frames the graphics card can process in 1 second. So right now we're at 119, 130, 140 inside a building. Let's just switch. We do get a little bit of stutters here and there, but it's just because of my RAM. It's 8 gigabytes of RAM. Definitely not recommendable using only 8 gigs. I would definitely hop into 32. 99, 110, looking everywhere. Things are still running in, so it's decent, you know. Okay, it's like you're definitely for 3. Keep in mind, before people say it's like really low FPS, keep in mind we are at a $300 budget, and we're not like at $600, $5. If you have $100 more, you could definitely go for like an RX 570. I believe it's a little bit better than my 970, because it's like I think it's more efficient, 10% more or 20% more performance on an RX 570 than a 970 in my case. I'm just gonna go like W key, whatever. It is 3 in the morning or 2, I'm not sure, so I just really want to go to bed. I don't mind like dying right here. Where is this at? Where is he? So yeah, I don't know where he is. I'm just gonna go W key, cause I want to go to bed already. Edit this video right now and just go to bed, cause yeah. Yo. Yo, chill out, kid. Like, yo, I'm definitely dead right here. No, okay, so whatever. So yeah, I don't know the frames. I wasn't looking. I was just trying to play. So yeah, that's it. I don't know. I'll look at it, but it's steady. You can see I never got a stutter. Like once we landed, we never got a stutter or anything, and I really don't mind as long as I get above 60 FPS, because my monitor is a 60 FPS or 60 hertz monitor, so I can't really see above 60 fps, real 60 fps. I would have to get a 144 hertz monitor, then I would see the difference. But I mean, besides from that, there's nothing too crazy. As you can see, it's definitely better than the console, I have to say that. As you guys can see, it's above 60 fps all the time. And yeah, I mean, this has been it for this video. I'm just gonna drop a photo of my current setup. I am gonna get a double monitor and a new case. So yeah, like this video or sub, whatever, I don't care. Bye.